right, it's the month of May, and generally here in South Louisiana, that's not associated with teeth chattering, but let me tell you, mine are chattering right now. I made a long run in the dark this morning to get to where I'm fishing, and man, it was cold. It was really cold. We had a front come through a couple of days ago. We had some northwest winds, dumped the water out. Today is that day, though, where the high pressure kind of settles over us, and it is just flat, slick, dead calm. It's supposed to be really light winds today, and what happens a lot of times here, when we get a northwest wind, it dumps the water out, and I love that situation. If you can find clean water, you can just mop up on fish, and that's what I'm hoping happens today. We're about to find out. I've definitely found some clean water. In fact, it is spectacular. So I'm starting with a shrimp Creole matrix shad on a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head. You can see the matted grass all through here, but there is a channel in the middle that I'm hoping somewhere is stacked with fish. There's a fish, second cast. That feels like a little red. And it's a little red. Gorgeous red, look how pretty in this spectacular water. Well, at least he didn't bite on my first cast, because you know that's bad luck. See you around. Tell all your friends. I tell you what, the conditions we have today are the conditions you dream about at night. It is just, man, is it nice. The air feels great, no wind, low water, clean water. Just gotta find where the fish are stacked up. Ooh, that sun's about to pop up. It's gonna be pretty warm today, but it's definitely not yet. It's supposed to get into the 80s. Right now it's in the 50s. Oh, there's a fish. That's a red. That's a red. Stay out the motor. Oh, that's a big red. Goodness. He's a lot bigger than I thought when he first hit. Are you flippable? Let's see. Yeah, you're flippable. You're flippable. What a beautiful fish. What a beautiful fish. Come on, dude. Come on this way. Oh. All right. First keeper of the day. It's about a 22-inch red, I'd say. Look how copper this fish is. He's so dark. Look at that. Look at this guy. What a beautiful redfish. Oh, there we go. Pretty, pretty, pretty fish. Let's measure him, see how long he is. He's actually about 23 inches.
This episode of Marshman Masson is brought to you by Puglia Sporting Goods.
All right, as you can see, the tide is so low. A bunch of this pond is exposed, but there is a channel that kind of runs through it. Hopefully it's deep enough to float my boat. I'm gonna go explore that with a Texas rig matrix craw. Got it on a 1/4 ounce or under a 1/4 ounce tungsten bullet weight. Definitely looks promising. It's a river of water moving through it, so it looks like it is deep enough, but we'll know in a minute. I like these little ditches that run through ponds on low falling tides, because the fish retreat to these, they kind of get stacked up. You gotta cover a little bit of water to find them, but once you do, you can really do well. And man, this water is really, really low. I'm shocked it's this low. And if it stays this nice, I might actually do some sight fishing today. As pretty as this water is. There's one. Oh, it was a beautiful bass and I missed him. He jumped and spit it. I didn't get the world's best hook set. Somebody's got to go trim up with that motor. Any volunteers? I guess I'll do it. All right, this is gonna be hairy. I don't know if I'm able to get through this or not. It's getting really shallow. I got my push pole, I can push back, which I don't mind doing on a day like today where it's not much wind. Yeah, not a whole lot of water here. Trolling motor's not too pleased. Gonna put the rod down and pick up the push pole. All right, I pushed about as far back in here as I can, and now I'm just gonna let this current pull me out. Just use the trolling motor to kind of stay in this channel. I'm throwing a H&H number 4 gold spinner now. Didn't really get the bites I feel like I should have with the Texas rig. So we're gonna see if the fish just want something fast moving. Definitely seen it where that's the case. They won't hit a slow moving bait, but they'll demolish something that's moving quickly by them. Get that reaction strike. There's a fish. All right, that's a bass. All right, not a big fish, but it kind of tells us something. Our second cast with the spinner bait results in a fish. So this is widgeon grass. This is what a lot of these marshes hold. It's really kind of stringy, doesn't have leaves. It's not very, very easy to fish around, but it is very productive. It holds a lot of fish. You can see the big matted flats of widgeon grass. We've got this little channel running between this that the water runs in and out of to get in and out of this pond, and that's what I'm fishing. Just kind of throwing to the edge of the widgeon grass and running the bait back along it. All right, stop number 1 was a bit of a bust. Am I disappointed? Yes. Am I disheartened? Not even close. It's too pretty of a day. We're gonna find some fish somewhere, just not here. Spot number 1 was not as good as I would have liked. Felt like it should have been better. Did catch some fish, just didn't whack them. However, as I was leaving spot number 1 in a major bayou, I kicked up a million redfish. So that kind of tells me something. I may have been fishing water that's a little bit too small. So I'm probably gonna head back to that bayou after it kind of settles down a little bit and see if I can catch some of those reds. Right now I'm fishing kind of another ditch, not very deep, but it has a big pond in the back of it. And my hypothesis is that that pond's going to be really, really low because of this low water, and these fish are going to be concentrated in here. Of course, that's what I thought at the other area that I fished, but it did not have a pond at the back. Let me give you a time check. It is 7:53, so it's still pretty early. Got plenty of time to make something happen. Man, is it pretty. Water's just gorgeous. All right, now I've reached that pond. As you can see, it is empty. There's a channel running through the middle of it. I'm sure there's not a ton of water in that channel. Man, how it cannot hold fish, I don't know. We'll see when we get up in here. All right, there's a bunch of reds. There's a bunch of redfish right here. Oh, went over the back of them. Oh, goodness. All right, that tells me something. These fish just are not feeding. There's about 7 or 8 reds. All right, they're still there. They're still there. That was shocking. Those fish did not spook. It was about 7 or 8 reds. I threw that spinnerbait in front of them and they just kind of parted and went around it. Now I've lost them. Oh, there's one. There's one. Oh, dadgummit. Look at this. Not my day. Let's see if we can get this out. Work a magic trick. All right, there's a million reds here. Oh, look at him. Look at him. There's a million reds here. That was that same school. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's that same school. Oh, he's got a bunch of fish with him. He's got a bunch with... Oh, my goodness. I wish I had something else to throw. Oh, that's a big fish. That is a big fish. Please stay out of my other line. Oh, goodness. Look at all the fish with him. I'm just going to let him run. I'm just going to let him run. That's a big fish. And I got this bait still out, which is not good. This is a bruiser. This is definitely an over. Go ahead, you gonna pull us? Take us for a ride. That was part of that same group of fish. And when I set the hook in him, he had 8 or 10 fish with him, just an insane amount. It's the type of thing you don't want to see when you're fishing solo. You want to see that when you got 2 or 3 other guys on the boat. Everybody could have hooked up there. Man, I tell you what, I don't like that bait still being out on that Pro TI, but I don't have any choice. Tell you what, I'm gonna put this in the rod holder. At least I'm gonna lose my rod. I'm gonna grab my net, because I'm definitely gonna need it with this guy. My extendable net, my extendable Ego net. Will come in handy for him. Man, this fish is a bruiser. Looking at him now, I'm not sure he's over, but he is big. All right, yeah, he's over. Oh, goodness. I'm saying this guy is, he's probably 30 inches. I'm gonna let him go. I can't bear to keep a fish this size. All the fish in that school, and this is the one I catch. Just a pig. All right, I got my mess cleaned up, and now I'm on the hunt again. It looked like when I was fighting that giant redfish, the rest of the school headed back behind me, but I still want to push forward because there's probably some more grouped up in this little neck down here.
This episode of Marshman Masson is brought to you by H&H Lure Company, and by Cito New Orleans, and by Sportsman'sOutfitters.com, and by Plaquemines Parish, and by Death Grip Jig Heads.
Boy, is this pretty in here, my goodness. Oh, look at this alligator right on the bottom. Look at this. Look at this guy. No wonder we snag him sometimes. Can you see him? Look at this guy. Just hugging to the bottom. We're right on top of him. Hopefully this is coming out on camera. This is awesome. Where you going, dude? Boy, I wish I brought my bow. We are on the top of a school of catfish. Oh, why did I not bring my bow? And why are these catfish not terrified of that alligator? Dude, I promise I'm not chasing you. You just go on where I'm going. Look, he's still down there. Look at that. About a 4-footer, I guess. He's not terribly big. Boy, a million catfish. Goodness. Why couldn't you all be redfish? Every now and then those cats will hit these soft plastics, but generally not. Particularly when you see them. I don't know why that is. You wouldn't think they'd have good eyes. Man, we've reached the end of the line for us. These cats got this water all stirred up. This pond is bone dry. Look at another cat. Oh, why didn't I bring my bow? That would be easy shooting. Another cat right onto the boat. Let's see if we can get him to bite, just for kicks. Nope. No luck. We're working our way out of this bayou, chasing the alligator again. Unfortunately, we kind of dirtied this water up. The sight fishing may not be doable. 1 alligator, 2 alligators, 3 alligators. That doesn't include the one we rolled over. Alligator here, gallinule here. How are there any gallinule around here? They don't look like the swiftest birds. Wouldn't think they'd get away from an alligator, and I'm sure many don't. Ooh, as chilly as I was this morning, that feeling is gone. It's heating up. It's getting warm. This sweatshirt is not long for this world. There's a fish. Little bass. Little bass. Little bitty guy. We're on the shrimp creole. There's a fish. On the pro's choice. It's like green pumpkin magic, I think, is the color. Maybe the bass is starting to bite. That'd be nice. Oh, I threw in that fish's mouth. My goodness. That's a bass. What are you doing way out in the middle, dude? Come on this way. Must have been a grass patch out there I didn't see. There's a fish. I think it's another bass. I don't know. Now I'm thinking it's a red. Yep, redfish. I see him. He's gonna be close. Yeah, he's gonna make it for sure. About an 18-incher. You came up and jumped like a bass, didn't you? One of your buddies did that today and actually got free. Didn't work so well for you, but it was a good effort. Look at that gator up on the bank, just enjoying the sun after a really cold night. And something just spooked right next to him. What are you doing, dude? Are you that cold? It's warming up. There's a fish. Yeah, the bass are starting to bite. Not monsters. Not monsters. All right, we've reached the end of our little bayou. It was definitely very good to us. If you remember, I discussed going back to that first bayou, or at least the bayou that led to where I fished, where I saw a bunch of reds. But this wind's kind of picking up a little bit, so I'm concerned about it getting rough. Oh, look at this red. Oh well. So I'm concerned about it, the wind picking up and it getting too rough to sight fish. So I think I'm gonna go run to another area that has another pond and fish my way back there, see if I can duplicate my success in this little bayou, and then I'll go back to that other bayou. Sound like a plan? Let's do it. All right, you can see our pond out here. It's not quite as low, or not quite as shallow, I guess, as the other pond, but it is pretty shallow. Hopefully the water in it is nice and clean. It's not that good in this little bayou leading into it. Believe me, it's not bad. It's just not as good as what we just left. And interestingly enough, our tide has switched. It has begun to rise, which I certainly don't like as much, but it shouldn't matter in this little pond. Actually, it may help a little bit. By pushing water into the pond, the fish will kind of follow that moving water and will push back shallow. Ooh, big red, big red, big red, big red, big red. Oh my goodness. Don't spook, dude. There he is. Yep, big red. Oh, he broke me off. Oh, goodness. Look at this. I had a backlash. Oh, it held my drag. This has been one of those days. Just one of those days. Incredible. Well, I had the fun part of the fight, casting to him and getting the hit. I wouldn't have kept him anyway, but I'd like to get that hook out of his mouth. Shoot. So I switched to this glow matrix shad just so I can see the bait better, since it looks like I'm gonna be doing a little sight fishing in here. That fish was a stop sign. I mean, he was standing out like a pumpkin in a fall field. All right, there's mullet galore in here. I guess I ought to be smart about this and put my cooler up here on the deck, my brewing cooler. Dramatic difference. Dramatic difference. I can see much farther. Now, as you know, if you watch this channel a lot, I'm not the world's best sight fisherman. I don't do it a ton. I love it. I really enjoy it, but I don't do it every time I'm fishing like a lot of guys. But when you get conditions like today's, you just have to. I mean, you just have to do it. Plus, I like challenging myself, doing something I'm not quite adept at, just to see if I can get better at it. Man, there are some bass in here. Good night. There's just a ton of bass in here. It's insane. Now, my buddy Jonathan Ryan, he sight fishes bass in these ponds, but man, they're hard to get to bite. If you can see them, they can see you, and they're just not as dumb as redfish, I guess. Probably just not as blind as redfish. I'm gonna throw, oh, there we go. Oh, shoot. That was a bass. I promise you that was a bass. I'm gonna throw some bass baits along here on the way out, because there's way too many fish. I like that one. He spit it. Little bitty guy. Every cast I'm getting just dunk, dunk, dunk. Just from these little bass. It's a bunch of them. Yep. Wow. There's gonna be some bigger ones in here. We're gonna run across some bigger ones and they'll hit this bait. Really, we got this perfect sun for what we're doing. It's almost directly to my back. On the way out, we'll be looking right into it. So we'll just blind cast on the way out. Yeah, wind's definitely starting to pick up out of the east. Can't go too long this time of year with no wind. There's a stingray. That's a good sign. Stingrays and reds often run together. That one didn't have any reds with him, but if there's stingrays in the area, maybe some others will have some reds with them. Well, look at these planes. What in the world? It's a Belt Chase Navy base not far from here. I'm sure that's where they came from. There's a lot of activity up here. Definitely a good sign. See if it's anything we're interested in. Ooh. Boy, you wouldn't believe the fry up here. Look at this dark cloud. That's all fry. Look at that. That's got to be bass fry. Look at it. Hopefully you can see that. Just incredible. Wow. Oh, and something just darted in and ate it. Looked like a sheephead. Disperse, fry, disperse. Don't get eaten. All right, I'm gonna see if I can push into the upwind side of this pond. Looks like there's a clear area devoid of grass. Might be another little channel. Should definitely have some fish in it if we can get to it. All those bass are still there. That's definitely something we're gonna have to hit. Yeah, it looks like a little drain up here. It might be enough water to get us back over there. Whew, I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be a little dicey. Man, that looks really shallow. I don't know. Whew, boy, does that look shallow. No chance. No chance. It's inches deep. I can't even push pole across that. Oh well, we have to go with plan B. There was a little bayou on the way in here and it looked kind of intriguing. I'm gonna go check that out. All right, I called it a bayou. It's really more of a ditch, but it does look intriguing. The water's pushing into it, but it seems to have a little bit of depth. I certainly can't see bottom in the middle. We'll push back in this as far as we can. Should hold some fish. If it holds enough water. There's a fish. Bass. Second cast. It's the theme of the day, second cast. All right, nice bass. Now I caught him on a bait that I used to fish a ton. Kind of got away from it, but it's a great bait. It's a black light Zoom Z-Craw. I don't know why, you kind of go through phases in baits, and this used to be my go-to. I've gotten away from it. But that guy wanted it. Boy, it's a pretty little ditch. Not a ton of water in it. But look, I mean, these fish have to be in this little ditch. Anything that resided anywhere around here has to be in this ditch. Including that alligator. I don't know how there's a fish left here with all these alligators. It's incredible. So now we get to follow him the whole time because he's gonna think we're chasing him. Hopefully it doesn't spook all our fish. Ooh, B. Get out of here, B. looks like our ditch loses its water. Let's see if we can go this way. All right, we've found bumblebee heaven. They're swarming all around me. Oh, look at that bass. Look at this, look what we're fishing. I mean, it's just nothing. Nothing. And this bass is nothing. Ooh, there's a bunch of bass up there, I can see them. I don't know if I can get through here. This is kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy. I don't know if Cito can even get me in here. I'm proving I'm as stupid as my wife says I am. I mean, there's bass by the millions in here. Most of them are small, but there's just so many fish in here, it's incredible. All right, we're about to get stuck. Stuck like Chuck. I gotta figure something out here. You see, our channel died. Yep, we good, we're golden. All right, I don't know if you can see it, but where we came through, it's a muddy mess. So we're not gonna fish this again, it'd be a waste of time. Just gonna put that trolling motor on high and get us back out to that main bayou. Look at the gator. Look, right next to us. Yeah, dude, I ain't messing with you. He's hissing at me. Yeah, you keep to yourself and I'll keep to myself. There's a fish, another bass. That's a better fish. All right. Man, what a fun trip today, exploring the marshes of South Louisiana. When you have conditions this good, it's really difficult not to be successful. Conditions were just perfect today. Wind's starting to blow a little bit now, but even still, not too bad. All right, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marshman Masson channel on YouTube. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever we post a new video. And until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh, we'll see you right here on Marshman Masson.